evening, afternoon, morning. That's the one I missed out. I feel like it's because it's evening here, so I went straight for evening. It's like 20 to 7 and it's a Saturday the 6th of August. Christ, the year is getting away with this, isn't it? But yeah, Saturday evening, and what am I doing? Sat editing a YouTube video, but it's cool. I mean, I've got Leeds Pride tomorrow, so I'm saving myself. I'm saving myself for that event, really. So I've kind of had a pretty chilled Saturday, really. I went across the road, which is literally there. There is Altered Image. You know, I'm always telling people how close I live to the gym. So popped across the road earlier, got a nice, I'm just going to hide the fact that I've clearly spilled food on my top. It's really awkward. It's great, obviously, having it across the road. I popped over and had a back session earlier. It was a really good session, actually. Spoke to a couple of different people. There's a lad in there who's competing as... Oh, I've just spotted a cat. This isn't a really good intro, is it? I'm rambling already, and then I'm mentioning cats. You don't need to know about the chats I had particularly. That's not really interesting to you, but it was interesting to me. There are some like decent like bodybuilders and stuff that go to Altered Image now. I feel like oh, there's another cat. I shouldn't have come outside, should I? But yeah, the kind of Altered Image community is like kind of leveling up a little bit now. See a lot of people coming over from Ultraflex, obviously including myself. I, to be honest, don't really go to Ultraflex anymore. Anywho, I had a bit of a stark and sad revelation today. So, there's another cat. This is just paradise, absolute paradise. There's 3 cats in my like eye line. Wow, this is just, this shouldn't have come outside. Anyway, the stark and sad revelation was that I have been mistracking my pasta and rice for like this entire off season. So I had pasta and rice on a default kind of setting on MyFitnessPal, and they were both, you know, because I'll just tap in and click, and it's been like on 100 grams, and then for some reason today I noticed like brackets cooked, and I was like, what the fuck? Because like I'm not taking such account of like how many calories I'm tracking in per item, if that makes sense. Sometimes I'll look if it's like a new item, and you know, I just want to make sure that it's not been mistyped into MyFitnessPal, and I'll just check against the packet. But I've just not checked for pasta and rice, and so I've been tracking in like 100 grams of cooked pasta every time. I've been weighing out like 100 grams of raw pasta and tracking it in as the cooked weight, which is obviously a lot more calories than... So I've been eating a lot more through pasta and rice than I've realised. So there will have been days when I haven't had pasta and rice where I've eaten less, and days when I've had pasta and rice where I've gone way over my carbs without even knowing. Yeah, so that was a bit of a revelation. I messaged Tom like, this is a silly question, but like, would you continue to mistrack considering I've been having that amount for like months, or would you just start tracking now? And obviously I'll be eating, sort of technically eating less food than I have been eating. And he just went for the less food option, which I knew. That's why I kind of messaged him, because I was like, usually I can make sensible decisions for myself, but when I know I'm going to make a naughty decision, I'm like, this is what we've got a coach for. I know he's going to give me the option I don't want. He was like, yeah, we don't want to look like too much of a whale. Never minces his words, does he, Tom? So yeah, you might as well start eating less food and always do the uncooked weights, which is obvious anyway. Like, I would never advise someone to do cooked weight, because, you know, it depends how much water you've cooked it in, or salt, and, you know, 100 grams of pasta one day could be at 90 the next day, depending on how you've cooked it and stuff. So yeah, like, it's just always easier to do the raw weight. So yeah, I'm going to be eating a lot less now. So today I've had pasta and rice, training day and all that, and I've had 80 grams of cooked rice, where I'd usually like smash down 120, but like 120 raw. But then when you track that in as cooked, it's obviously a lot more calories that I can't fit in. Can you hear me now? So yeah, I also had pasta, and I had 100 grams of like the raw weight, and obviously that was way more calories than 100 grams cooked. So yeah, I'm already on like over 2,000 calories for the day. I'd usually be on about 1700 by now, having tracked how I usually would, and I'd usually have room for like a nice big evening meal and oats. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen tonight because I like my oats, and so I'm going to be having them as a priority, and then so evening meal won't be like a nice, you know, carby meal like a wrap or something. It'll just probably be, I bought some like stir fry veg, and I'll just have like a chicken stir fry without the carbs. It's so sad. Like, honestly, I don't know if I can portray this to you guys, but like for months I've been eating or thinking I could eat a lot more than I actually can on the calories I've been allowed, and now it's like, oh no you can't, no Emily, no, you can only have these little peasant portions of pasta and rice going forward. I almost don't want to have pasta and rice anymore because I'm like, that's so many calories. Damn. This sounds dumb as hell, by the way. I'm perfectly aware of that. But like I said, I never really check. I just bang in like the usual amount that I always have, because that's the thing. I'm tracking my macros, but I tend to have similar things every day. So I've just been tapping it without thinking, oh, that looks significantly low calories for how much pasta I'm having. Does that make sense? I haven't really checked, and then I just randomly did today, and I was like, oh yeah, that's not right. So yeah, here we are. Less food, and Tom said I won't be as much of a whale. He didn't actually say that. I could take it that way if I wanted to, but he didn't mean it like that. I just know he's a bit like me sometimes, like says things off the cuff and then like they don't sound as how they were meant to sound, basically. I just keep looking up at that cat. It's really cute. Oh, it just got up and stretched. Anyway, I thought for today what I would do is I would do like a voiceover type thing. Obviously you can see my face now, so I'm just logging into my laptop. I thought I would go over one of my sessions with you. It's an upper body session that I do on a Monday, just because I think a lot of you have kind of mentioned that you like the voiceovers and like the explanation of training, and I haven't done one of those in a while, so I thought I would. And anyway, I think without further ado I will crack on with that, because I've just rambled, and if you've got this far already, you're committed to the video. So yeah, make sure you like it, guys, if you are liking it. Also, I think it would be really nice if people that watch it could tag me on your Instagram story saying that you're watching it. No one ever really does that, and when people do, I always find it really nice to know who's watching. And obviously it helps spread the awareness that I'm actually still doing YouTubes. Safe to say I get a significant amount less views and subscribers now that I'm not prepping. So, you know, help an off-season gal out. Anyway, I'll get straight into the session then. So yeah, basically the session starts. We're in altered image, like I said, nowadays. And sorry, there's a car going past. But yeah, we are starting with the hammer strength single arm pull down. And one of the other lads that I spoke to in the gym, actually, who's also left Ultraflex to come to altered image, pointed out to me that this machine, the hammer strength plate loaded pull down, it's heavier, like a lot of the other kit, like at Ultraflex, it's heavier in altered image, and I can certainly see the same for this. But luckily I've already worked this machine up to the weights that I was doing at Ultraflex. So yeah, here I am going into the other side. Got to kind of short people problems, loop it. It's so worth, you know, using the straps and actually having them there, because, you know, when you feel like your grip's about to go, you just don't get that with the straps, because that you're just completely locked in with it. So, you know, at the end of the day, like, we're bodybuilders, we're not powerlifters, we're not working on grip strength. So like, if we can get more reps out and not have to kind of lose reps to grip strength, then obviously that's key. And plus it just keeps your wrist supported, which, you know, is another thing. It's not all about the gains. You know, my wrist feels a lot more like intact and secure when I'm using the straps. So yeah, just make sure I'm driving my elbow right down into my side on each rep and getting a nice stretch at the top. And then this feels really good like that. So yeah, that's the first exercise, couple of sets on that. And then we go straight in with the plate loaded row. So again, this is 2 working sets. A lot of my exercises are 2 working sets, because that's how I like to approach my training. Intensity comes rather than volume, if that makes sense. So like, I'll just really rinse myself on each set. This is a nice setup as well. You know, again, it's about keeping your shoulder retracted, not rolling your shoulder forward as you come forward on the reps, but also making sure that, you know, it does kind of get a nice stretch of the lat before you then drive back, elbow into side. Anyway, that was just a little bit of short people problems right there. How do short people get into a lat pull down? You saw it here first. again, you know, it's worth setting up the straps for this one. Same principles I just mentioned there. I use the 1MR ones that Josh Bridgman created. All of his products are just absolutely unbelievable. So I'd always direct someone to 1MR if they were asking me about any kind of gym equipment, to be fair. So yeah, I like this grip, to be fair. It allows me to bring my elbows right down, tuck them into my sides, you know, getting a nice good stretch at the top as well. As you can see, the last rep or two was a lot less smooth, and that's when I kind of know that the set's drawing to a close. And then, yeah, back's done there. So now we're moving on to a shoulder press movement. I can't do straight pressing. I've really knackered my shoulder recently from trying to on the Smith machine. That's just part of my, you know, chronic shoulder injury that just I can't do that movement. So we swapped, and it's an incline that I'm doing now. And again, it's with neutral grip. Any machine that has a neutral grip handle is preferred by me, because it's pressing like this that really ruins, because it's a rotatory cuff issue. So if I can avoid that, I will. So this machine is pretty much perfect, to be fair. Get really good connection with my front and mid delt. But yeah, just trying to keep the eccentrics really smooth on this. And yeah, obviously taking each rep until I feel like I literally can't get another one. So this was the last rep where I was like, yep, we've rinsed it now. And then just again trying to control that last eccentric. It's always a little bit challenging because you just finish with the set at that point, but try to if you can. And then yeah, this is a really nice machine. It's the Nautilus Nitro lat raise machine. That's what I'm trying to say. I do it double arm on my delt day, and then on this upper day I do it single arm. This was something new that I just put in with this session. It's really, really nice. Yeah, get a really good connection to the delts here. I think on the day when I do double arm, I tend to do last set as like a drop set, and I'll just take it to partials by the end as well. So that's just absolutely destroys the delts. With these single arm ones, it's just a high repper really, a couple of high rep sets. I think a lot of it with lateral work is all about volume really. High rep sets, just getting as much blood in the area as you can. So yeah, as you can see, I did many reps on this set, and just until I felt like the reps weren't smooth anymore, and that's the point at which I stop. And then to finish off with tris and bis, arms basically. So for my triceps on this day, I've got my another day in the plan where I do like full pressing. That's the delt day where I do like a dip and like a tricep press. On this day I just do the cable work. So I'll do these dual ropes, obviously always better, you can get a full range of motion. So yeah, that's what I'm aiming for here. So I do the push downs, and then I go straight into overhead extension. I quite like it from the top of the cable stack like this. I've done it obviously from the bottom of the cable stack in the past, but yeah, I quite enjoy doing it from the top like this. Again, just thinking about really fully extending at the elbow joint, getting full extension to really kind of rinse the tricep basically. And yeah, this was it. Then I just finished with some biceps and abs at the end of the session. I didn't film the biceps because I just did preacher curl. There's a single arm machine that's really nice if you sort of sit on it sideways on, but it's right in the middle of like the aisle of the gym, and there was nowhere to really prop the tripod without just being in everyone's way. But yeah, I like to do single arm preachers on that day. And then yeah, I always try and finish most of my sessions with abs. I do them at least 3 times a week, and that's just going to remain. It's just a non-negotiable really. It's like, you know, figure you really want that blocky 6-pack when you're on stage. So the fact that I had like decent enough abs last season made a big difference generally to my look on stage. So I do make sure to keep abs in, and if you are competing, it's absolutely a non-negotiable. I'll put it in my clients' plans just to make sure that they actually do get their abs done. Like I'll put it like in with their push session and stuff like that, so it's like at the end of push and the least taxing sessions. But I do say, you know, just whenever you can just do a few sets on abs at the end of a session, or when you've got time, or if you're in for cardio, just do it as often as possible really. And obviously try to find a machine that you can progressively overload on as well, because you know your abs are like any other muscle and you need to be getting stronger on them. So that there's a really nice crunch machine, like I think it's a Life Fitness crunch, like Lion Crunch at Ultimate Image, and I'm nicely progressing the weights on that. So I've been doing that as like my kind of progressive overload, and then other times I'll just do like where you sit on the dip machine and do like leg raises and stuff like that. I just think just do abs in any form, so long as you're doing them and you're doing something progressively as well, then you know it's literally better than just not doing them obviously. So yeah, that's me, that's training at the moment. It's 5 to 7 now, so I'll be popping off to eat sooner rather than later. I think I'm quite gonna get hungry. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little update. Basically my food's going down, but not like for an actual structured coaching decision, just because I've been a knob for the last however long. So yeah, we'll see. I'm looking all right, you know. I've been feeling really good in my training. Like the other week, there was I was on the Cybex seated row in Old Image, and I was like, oh, look at my arms. And ever since then, I'm like, my arms look quite good, you know. They're definitely like, you can just definitely see overall in my physique that there's just a lot more muscle there. Like, yeah, there's a lot of body fat at the moment, but like underneath that, I can see a lot more muscle than I've ever seen before when I've had quite a lot of body fat, if that makes sense. So nah, it's definitely we're progressing. Tom just says, you know, we just need to get bigger and bigger, really. Like, and obviously the two bros finals it was like last weekend, and I've seen the girls. Obviously I am looking at the girls that got their pro cards and stuff. Like, why wouldn't I? Like, obviously that's the level, like not necessarily like next year as such, but that's the level I'm going for generally. So it's like looking at their physiques and where mine needs to be. Yeah, it's motivating for sure, and it just gonna keep working harder and harder. And yeah, I'm really enjoying these solo sessions at Altered Image at the moment, so they're here to stay for the foreseeable anyway, and the split seems to be going okay. The devolume was good last week. I washed off some fatigue, and I'm in a good spot now. You know, I actually had a caffeine free day today, which was cool. I didn't have any caffeine at all, and cracked on with my session and stuff. So yeah, everything's really good. I've also had a few calls recently because with the time of year, I've had, you know, people are looking to compete next year. So I think it's looking already like I'm going to have a bigger competitive team next year. So like, you know, before I start my prep in like April time, there will be other athletes prepping, and you know, obviously we'll follow along those journeys and stuff on this channel. It'll be really exciting. So yeah, it's going to be another big year for the team, coaching and stuff next year, and competitors, but also a big year for me, obviously, as you know. So just keep following along, because it's going to get more exciting, I promise. Anyway, yeah, if you did like this video, like I say, like the video, subscribe if you are new, tag me on Instagram, you know, to let me know that you're watching. That'd be really appreciated. And I will see you in the next video. Ciao for now. Oh, the cat's gone now.